Using Baluns. Why use a power video balun? Cat5e cable is less expensive than coax. You can transmit longer distances. It's an easier pull, smaller, more flexible, easier to hide, future migration to IP, and no need to buy an 18.2 cable for powering the camera. Run the power over the other 3 pairs. Avoid cutting power connectors off cameras. This can void camera warranty from most manufacturers. Use the AZ-CC304 connectors and the AZ-CC301 connectors for all your power connections. Here we see a diagram of how the baluns are used with the cables and the connectors, cameras, power supply, DVR, etc. Starting up in the top right, we have a AZ-CAM002 mini pinhole camera from Azco. The power connector is used with the AZ-CC301 connector to the power connector, and we use the B and C off that camera to go to the balun. Off the back of the power connector, it is wired to, of course, the balun itself as well. An RJ45 connection off the balun runs the cable all the way to another RJ45 connection to the other balun. And again, of course, B and C connector goes to the cable or actually directly into the DVR. The power connector gets wired to the actual AZ-CC304 power connector, which then is, of course, is terminated to your power supply. Always calculate for voltage drop. Our power video baluns have charts on the packaging, as in this case of the AZ-BLN217. In this chart, it shows the transmission distance, 160 feet, 320, 500, and 650 feet. Across the top, it shows the transmission voltage. This is the voltage required at the camera. 12 volt, half amp, 12 volt, 1 amp, 12 volt, 1.5 amp. Choose our distance, say 500 feet, and we need 1 amp 12 volts at the camera. That would mean that we would require 22 volt power supply on the far end to power that 12 volt 1 amp camera. Understanding polarity. Always make sure your components within your system maintain the same polarity. Always check the specs of your cameras to make sure you're using the correct voltage for the camera. Always check the amperage of your cameras and your power supply. Fuzzy picture, rolling lines, black bar. Possible problem could be a ground loop issue. Always have a ground loop isolator on hand to test for one of these issues. Have the proper tools. No point in running up and down a ladder to check the picture. This is a small, lightweight, wristwatch type LCD monitor, allowing you to see your camera angle and view and do your troubleshooting. Works with a lithium-ion battery that's included and is rechargeable. Often power supplies do not come with power cords. Have a checklist of what you need for the project. In this case, we have the AZ cord which is just a cord end that you can buy to put with your power supplies. Azco offers alarm decals, CCTV decals, CCTV signs, and backlit LED CCTV signs that can be seen at nighttime through windows, off walls, etc. To prevent issues with people unhooking the network cable to the DVR, use the AZ patch lock. Patch lock holds the tab up on the patch cord to ensure that people cannot unplug the patch cord from the wall outlet or from the device, DVR, etc. Also great for IP cameras. Cameras. What camera do I use for what application? Are we indoors or outdoors? Do we need an outdoor rated camera? Will the camera be in extreme weather? Will it freeze? If that's the case, look for a camera that uses a heater and/or blower in it to make sure it doesn't freeze. Lighting conditions. What are the lighting conditions this camera will be working in? Do I need IRs in the camera to give light? Will it be natural light, floodlights, another IR source? Pixum technology. As seen on the right, you see how a regular analog CCD works, versus in the bottom, where a Pixum chip brings every single pixel down into its own self-adjusting camera. The result of this is in the top left, where we see an overexposed picture looking out the window, and of course the items in front of that are underexposed and we cannot see them. And of course the pictures below it at ATM machine, we can't see their faces or make them out, they're just shadows, versus using the Pixum chip that enhances that picture. Another benefit to the Pixum digital pixel system is the noise reduction. Noise reduction actually brings down the amount of noise in the picture. This not only gives you a better picture, better movement, but actually gives you more recording space on your DVR. Here's a closer look at those pictures. Keep in mind when you're using a camera that's looking out a window, has any kind of sunrise, sunset, headlights, or floodlights that might be coming on towards it, using a Pixum Seawolf chip camera may make the difference. Most cameras come with a 3.6mm lens. But what field of view does this lens actually give us? About 75 degrees. It's important to choose our lens properly to give us the correct field of view that we're going to be using. A great camera to use is always to use a very focal camera. This will allow you to adjust on site to what you absolutely need. Resolution. Resolution will determine our picture quality. On the left we see a 480 TVL camera versus on the right a 600 TVL camera. Resolution makes a big impact on the picture quality. Other CCTV camera technologies. Polaris Vision 2. The minimum illumination level of Polaris Vision 2 cameras is down to 0.00004 lux. which enables users to get recognizable images under extreme low light conditions. XDR. In strong, backlit, or high contrast applications, most conventional CCTV cameras lose details in the dark portion of the image. This technology properly renders the bright portion of the image and extends the dynamic range in the darker areas, increasing the sensitivity of the camera. 3D DNR. The highest level of digital noise reduction technology, which eliminates blur during low light conditions, enabling users to clearly capture images. HLC, highlight compensation. This function effectively inverts strong lights such as car headlights to provide clearer images and increase brightness level of the rest of the image, which typically on a CCD camera would be darkened to compensate for the bright spots. How will you mount your camera? Make sure you have all the proper accessories that you need to mount that camera when you get to site. Hidden cameras or hidden pinhole cameras. Here we've shown the AZCAM001 mini pinhole camera that also has a microphone. Or on the right hand side, the AZCAM002, which is a larger housing Pixum camera in a pinhole version. These cameras can be used and hidden in all sorts of items or places. What tools do you need? Make a checklist of the tools, supplies, materials that you most commonly use or require on site. Here we've shown everything from staples to easy tools to crimp your RJ45s to test monitors, drill bits, drills, etc. Your stickers, your connectors, your cord ends, your baluns, your DVR, your cameras, and your UPSs. Have a checklist. No sense in getting to a site and not having everything you need.